Okay, so I'm mostly done here, but I wanted to show you guys just a little bit. This specific strawberry is pretty much done flowering for the year. It's a summer bearing. You guys have seen it in a couple of my previous videos, and I showed you how I pruned it preparatory for the fruiting stage. And while I wasn't very diligent in picking these out, most of these are already pretty rotten. There's a couple that are almost ripe to eat, but most of them have kind of already rotted out. And I tried a couple that were good, and they were ready, but they were starting to go bad, and you can kind of tell just a bit of an off flavor to them. And I'm wanting to grow a heck of a lot more of these, but I don't want to have them growing here in this pot. I want them to spread out in a different location, not necessarily right here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm transitioning. So I've been cutting off all the bad leaves, pulling off all these old dead leaves, and the majority of the leaves that were coming out before, they all kind of look like this. So they're kind of spent. So I've been pulling them out. You see this one right here. I've just been kind of broadly going through and cutting them all out, as well as all those old rotten fruits. Like I said, there's still a couple that are kind of good. If it'll focus here, they're still kind of good, but you know, that one wasn't that bad. I want to grow a heck of a lot more of them so that I can freeze them, accumulate a large amount of them, and then do stuff with it. Maybe make like a jam or something. But anyways, so I'm transitioning to trying to get a bunch of these runners to grow now. And obviously, if I wanted to maximize the amount of new plants that I got, I would have kept the runners at that time. But, you know, hindsight's 2020. Now I'm transitioning to trying to maximize the growth of these guys. And you can kind of see, I think I've shown you this before, there's a node here with no plant on it, but out of that node grew a second runner here. And then at the end of those ones is an actual plant here. You can see the tiny leaf on that with another runner following up. And then on this one here, same thing. There's if I can get it, there's a plant here, another runner, and then it looks like there was actually another runner that got cut at some point. I can't quite remember when that happened. It's pretty old, it looks like. But so this guy here, if you look really closely here, I don't know if you can see this, there's a couple little nubs on the bottom here. And once it starts developing these little bumps on here, that's when you know that they're ready to start growing. See if I can show you another one here that looks a little bit better. Some of these other guys are a little bit older. You can kind of see it's all smooth on the bottom except for this little guy here. It almost, at a glance, might look like an aphid on there, but that right there is actually root mass. I just broke it off there. It's root nodes. And once your strawberry runner gets old enough that it starts developing those, even if it's not in contact with the soil, it's old enough that it wants to start sending down roots. But these ones here, they're in the air. It's too dry. It's not going to do it. If it was really, really humid and really, really rainy, it would try to do it anyways. But since it's in the air and we've kind of got the dry season, it's not. It's kind of holding off. And these ones I don't want to have too many more of, but this one here I want to spread out quite a bit. So I'm going to try to maximize the amount of runners that I get going here. And then towards fall, I'm going to transition to trying to get all of these to grow roots. And, well, I'm going to try to get them to grow roots, but I want to try to get as many of these runners started. And just have this guy, because the summer bears, that's pretty much all they want to do after the flowers are gone, is they just want to start developing runners to try to maximize the spread of the plant and get some better more seeds, just continue to spread and survive. So I'm going to cut all these guys off because it's wasted energy just keeping them there. They're going to start dying off and rotting and promoting disease. So I'm going to pull them all out. And I'm just trying to make sure that I keep these runners because there are still a few down in here. You can see right here. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing with this guy. And I'm going to be doing that with a couple others. There's my one special guy that I'm trying to get growing. It's been a while since this one had any runners on it. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.